गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चैतन्यशाश्वतः शान्तो व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। नाम स्मरण। लक्ष्मी सरस्वती लक्षणकारिणी लक्ष्मी सरस्वती लक्षणकारिणी लक्षणकारिणी विलक्षणरूपिणी विलक्षणरूपिणी सद्लक्षणकारिणी सद्लक्षणकारिणी लक्ष्मी सरस्वती लक्ष्मी सरस्वती लक्षणकारिणी लक्षणकारिणी विलक्षणरूपिणी विलक्षणरूपिणी सद्लक्षणकारिणी सद्लक्षणकारिणी रक्षारूपिणी रक्षारूपिणी सुशिक्षणकारिणी सुशिक्षणकारिणी श्रियारूपिणी श्रियारूपिणी శ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రేయోదాయిని రక్షారూపిణి సుశిక్షణదాయిని శ్రియారూపిణి శ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రేయోదాయిని సద్గుణవర్ధని సద్గుణవర్ధని దుర్గుణమర్ధని దుర్గుణమర్ధని జ్ఞానప్రవర్ధని జ్ఞానప్రవర్ధని ధ్యానసంవర్ధని ధ్యానసంవర్ధని జ్ఞానప్రవర్ధని జ్ఞానప్రవర్ధని ధ్యానసంవర్ధని ధ్యానసంవర్ధని శ్రియారూపిణి శ్రియారూపిణి శ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రేయోదాయిని లక్ష్మీ సరస్వతి లక్షణకారిణి లక్షణకారిణి విలక్షణరూపిణి సద్లక్షణకారిణి సద్లక్షణకారిణి సంధానకారిణి సంధానకారిణి సంశయహారిణి సంశయహారిణి సంధానకారిణి సంధానకారిణి సంశయహారిణి సంశయహారిణి యోగ వినోదిని యోగ వినోదిని భోగప్రదాయిని భోగప్రదాయిని రక్షారూపిణి సుశిక్షణకారిణి విలక్షణరూపిణి సద్లక్షణకారిణి లక్ష్మీ సరస్వతి లక్ష్మీ సరస్వతి లక్షణకారిణి లక్షణకారిణి హరి ఓం. Every problem that we come across, that we face, that we experience in life, in the last analysis is self-caused. In the preliminary analysis, external apparent causes might appear to us. and then we transfer the responsibility of getting relief from these problems or finding solution to these problems to these external apparent causes, which appear to be so in our preliminary analysis. But when we go deep into the analysis, penetrate into the layers of the analysis, in the final analysis, last analysis, all these problems are self-caused. Nothing other than us has caused all these problems. But of course, in the last analysis, we need a lot of understanding and knowledge to penetrate into the deeper layers of analysis. Because all these problems are self-caused, they have to be self-redeemed. They have to be self-redeemed. If we expect somebody else to do the job for us, and if we wait, we will keep waiting. No solution will arise. No relief from the problem will happen. Never we will come out of these unwanted experiences which are gifted by these problems. Because they are self-caused, we don't want to accept it. We can't accept, because in our eyes we are such a nice person. So nice. We might be really nice also in this birth. According to our analysis, through our eyes, when we look at ourselves, we are perfectly right. There is nothing wrong with us. We have not done anything which can be called as a mistake, which can be termed as a flaw. We did not do anything. We have done everything right and perfect. And we are very good. And we also have certain followers who say we are very good, because they want to be good with us, treated good by us, so they say we are good, and we feel we are good, and we also think we are very good. Might be good. We are good, really good. But the causes of these problems need not necessarily pertain to this span of life, which looks very good, maybe good, truly good, really good. They are connected to something that is prior to this lifespan. So these problems in the last analysis are self-caused, so they have to be self-redeemed. What are the types of problems? We are connected with relationships, so we see through relationships. Uncongenial husband or wife. A common experience. Uncongenial life partner. Whether a husband has a partner or a wife has a partner. Uncongenial husband or wife or life partner. Idiotic child. Idiotic. The child thinks ultra modern, but according to the normal standards of analysis, idiotic. Idiotic child. Discouraging parents. होता है कभी कभी. We feel as if they have become our parents only to discourage us. Sometimes होता है. Discouraging parents. Non-cooperative brothers and sisters. These are all problems, is it not, in relationships? Uncongenial husband, idiotic child, discouraging parents, non-cooperative brothers and sisters, untruthful, untrustworthy, unfaithful friends, misleading teachers, misleading teachers, leading but misleading, revolting, blaming students, tyrannical boss, superiors, tyrannical, deceptive servants. Some people spend whole life in discussing about servants only. All these are problems that we face in our relationships. They are numbered altogether 9. Just see one after another. There are many more, but of course, as an example for us to understand, we have already understood enough now. We might figure in one of these things. We might see ourselves in one of these things. Either as victims or as bestower of problems. We might be on either side. We do not know. All these are problems that we face in our life. And who caused them? We think, uncongenial husband has caused. Idiotic child has caused. Whatever it is, we say the other is the cause. But in the final analysis, we are the cause. We ordered for such circumstances. We asked for such things. Through our actions, through our words, through our thoughts. Of course, through our deeds. The ways in which we lived our lives prior to this lifespan. We have ordered for them. And then God just responded. We asked and He supplied. We deserved, so He supplied. And now we don't know. So that's why we get so much annoyed and so much disturbed. Because when these relationships point out to us that they are problematic in our life, then instead of looking outside, if we want a real solution, we have to look a little bit outside to understand and analyze, but more inside. Inside. Then we will certainly find the solution. One of the major problems in relationships is emotional dependency. A major problem in life. Emotional dependency. We depend upon people, on relationships. And we want these emotions to be satisfied by the people, or those emotions which we are not interested in experiencing within us, and we are again depend upon people to remove them. Emotional dependency. Let us see few interesting things that are connected with this. One of the important things which is connected with this is falling in love. This is a common phrase which we come across everywhere. Falling in love. Now we are going to analyze it. Not how to fall. That it need not be analyzed. That's why it is called as a fall. That's all. Falling in love can happen from two standpoints. First one is falling in love from the ego self, or in other words it can be called as the wounded self person, the one who is the ego, falling in love from the ego self and from the wounded self. How this person falls into love? I mean, why this person falls into love? What happens here is, this ego self or the wounded self is in love with the other because it is an immense need. There is a need for love. It is a need-based love. The ego wants this type of love. It feeds on this love. So it's a clearly need-based. So the person maintains the relationship because the needs are met. Only as long as the needs are fulfilled or satisfied, so long the person maintains. It's a need-based one. And the whole focus is on how the other person loves us. Please understand this. How the other person loves us. We are not interested in the person, but the love of that person. Please see the difference. We have certain demands, we have certain needs. As long as the other person is meeting these demands, giving attention to us, supplying all that we want, then we say we are in love with this person. We say we are in love with this person. When the other person is meeting our demands, supplying all these things, and does a good job in attending us. And suppose, if we discover that these needs are not being met, then immediately there arises a question, do we have real love? Or does the other person has real love? Now suddenly this reality comes into picture. Till then nobody questions. As long as the needs are met, demands are met, everything is supplied, attention is given, good job in attending to our needs, so on and so forth. Nobody questions whether it is real love or false love, true love, untrue love. But when this is not being supplied, then arises the question, is it real? Till then we did not bother because we had been getting it, so we are getting it. We are enjoying it. Because the ego self does not look at anything else. It is getting the love or not. Getting it, that's all. Now, the actual reason here is, inside there is emptiness. Because inside there is emptiness, and we want this emptiness to be filled by some trash. Meaning some love from the other. We want this emptiness to be filled. Actually, when we look into ourselves, there is inner emptiness and inner loneliness. Each one of us carries this. How long? The answer is, as long as we continue to live and function in ignorance, so long we carry this inner emptiness and inner loneliness. In fact, the outer reversals are God-given opportunities for us to look inside us. But instead of looking inside us, we will see it later on. What the ego self does is looks outside only at something else. And that goes on in this life and for lives together. Never ending, ever continuing. So we want the other person to fill the inner emptiness and take away the inner loneliness. It is like these takeaways. You go to fast food center and take away. Like that. Somebody should come fast and then give food to us, that is love, fast food, and take away. Fill our inner emptiness and take away the inner loneliness. And we wait for the other person. That is what people say, I am waiting for Miss Right, Mr. Right. They say, no, I am waiting for Mr. Right. Right means what? To fill the inner emptiness. Actually this is the thing. Superficially we might cover it up with so many other packages, attractive covers. But actually when we look into ourselves, we are carrying the inner emptiness. We want the other person to take it away. And we are having inner loneliness and we want other person to take it away, remove it. Fill the emptiness, take away the inner loneliness. And surprisingly, we come across a similar person who is also carrying inner emptiness, who is also having inner loneliness. So two inner emptiness and loneliness, when they meet, what else can be but a mess? What else can be? Probably from this, I think that saying has come out, empty vessels make much noise. Otherwise, empty things make no noise. From here, empty means this is not a rich emptiness, which is born out of the self-knowledge. It is a hollow emptiness, a poor emptiness, a beggar's emptiness. So we wait for the other person. And that is why our focus is on the filling. How much the other person fills us. How much the other person gives to us. How much the other person is actually feeding us with this love. We go on receiving this. We don't bother about anything else, because as an ego, as a wounded self, wounded in previous births or wounded in earlier age, wounded self or ego self, there is inner emptiness, there is inner loneliness. So we are waiting, receiving. That's why there is so much of focus on receiving love. Every time we make a demand, we make a complaint that you are not giving love to me, that means it is a complaint of the ego self. Immediately we have to understand that we are making this complaint, meaning that we have this inner emptiness and loneliness. And that's what we are requesting to the other person. Please fill it. Please take it away. Empty people and lonely people can never take it away. Full people and people who enjoy their aloneness and solitude and who are connected to the highest, they alone can take it away. Nobody else can do that. They alone can fill us because they are filled. They are full. Purnam, they are full. That is why they can fill us. By changing us, they fill us. By changing us, they take away the loneliness. But till then, we continue to wait. And we end up in conflicts. Why conflicts? Because two inner empty people, two inner lonely people are demanding from each other for more love, more attention, more giving. How many times we might have seen ourselves demanding love from others? Sometimes we might have had the guts and courage and then decency to tell, sincerity to convey and communicate, and many other times we might be sincerely, silently expecting within ourselves that the other person will understand and fill us with love. And then because we could not get the real satisfaction, we get disturbed more, agitated more inside without even telling to the other person. Instead of telling to that particular person, we tell to other person, somebody else. See what is happening, this is what is happening. And for few minutes, this becomes an interesting thing to the other person because the other person also waiting to fill emptiness. Fill emptiness. Something has to be filled. So whatever it is, whatever is the content, you have to fill it. Like a dustbin, you have to fill it. Trash can, fill it. So some problem in somebody's life, for few minutes, interesting. Fill, come on. Fill me, come on. So I fill thee and make you fill thee. So go on filling it. That's why there is so much of interest in gossiping. Useless, baseless, needless, purposeless, progressless, senseless gossiping. Dependency on this. This also is one of the ingredients of emotional dependency. And another important thing here is, if the other person on whom we have so much of hope that our inner emptiness will be filled, inner loneliness will be removed, the other person does not fulfill our expectations and does not do anything to fill our inner emptiness and remove our inner loneliness, what happens? This emotional dependency is like an addiction. This is an addiction. So what happens is, When this is missing in life, so the person either goes in search of another person to fill this, or if there are repeated failures, then this type of people go into alcohol, dependency. It becomes an addiction. Understand? Addiction. Lowering the levels of consciousness. Opportunities are given to us to enhance the level of consciousness, but we lower the level of consciousness. It doesn't matter. Addiction to alcohol, addiction to drugs. Instead of a person, now the alcohol fills. It is not a question of any prestige or something which is very great. It is either individually or jointly or collectively deciding to lower the levels of consciousness and become more tamasic. That's all. It might be an accepted standard in the society. I have nothing to say against it. It might be one of the methods and ways, but still it is a decision to lower the levels. Why? Fill inside, fill. So for some time, I don't become conscious of this emptiness. I don't become conscious of this emptiness. And then when I am intoxicated, I feel everybody is my relative, everybody is my friend. And everybody is loving me. So then inner loneliness gone. Suddenly, in intoxication we make new friends and then new relationships and new things. Intoxication. And don't ask me how do you know. So, this is an addiction. So the people spend a lot of time in this addiction. And then they have brands also there. Once in a while, intermittent, regular, continuous. And the tables are reserved, booked, everything. So, this becomes an addiction. I cannot live without this. I cannot live without this. Similarly, the person who is dependent upon the other's love also says the same thing. I cannot live without the other person. Why? Because my inner emptiness is filled, my inner loneliness is being taken away. At least I expect. Same thing with the drugs. Same thing. No. Drugs are more worse. For our satisfaction. We want to brand that as more worst and this is less decent. All belong to same category. Psychologically, emotionally, all belong to same category. There are few more yet to come. Let us see. Words might be different. Ways might be different. But the actual purpose why we involve is the same. So, addiction to drugs. That also is the same. Then, gambling. Gambling. Where is the need? Why? Fun is different. Why? Why addiction to gambling? Emptiness, fill. So, there is so much of problem with relationships, so many problems all around. So gamble. Sit there. Morning to evening. Gamble. And then gamble and then that little bit of intoxication and gamble. That also. Why? Please understand these things. Why addiction to these things? It is because inner emptiness. Because of inner loneliness. We don't know how to fill it. We don't know how to take it away. That's why we try all these things. We tried with people. Then these are better things. We think they are in our control. Alcohol, drugs, because whenever we want, we can get them. Whenever we want, open and then take. We can't do the same thing with people. Nah? So we think we have more control over these things. But actually we are in their control. Gambling also is the same thing. Infidelity. Flirting with others. Extramarital relationships. Why? This is the reason. Same reason. If you can't fill, somebody else will fill. And excessive shopping. Interesting, isn't it? Excessive shopping. I was surprised today to see in one of the leading English dailies that there was an article on this excessive shopping. Around 5.6 to 6% of the people all over are suffering from this disease. They don't know what to do but sit and then shop and shop and shop and then bring the life partner into the shop. They make the home a shop. Because there are excessive financial debts. Because we don't know in credit card what is going to happen. Limitless, platinum. Platinum card, fat. Go on swiping, you don't know. Till we are wiped out, we can swipe it. That also is the cause. And another interesting thing, overeating. All the while something eating. Overeating, overeating, overeating. Somebody said, I thought my husband is becoming older and wiser, but he is becoming older and wider. Overeating. Because what to do? We have to fill something, inner emptiness. So we don't know how to fill that inner emptiness. So fill. Go on eating, feel, think that it is being filled. These are all things which we do. We are involving in all these things because we do not know how to really fill our inner emptiness and remove the inner loneliness. We depend upon all these things. This is dependency. This all comes under emotional dependency. Not only with people, all these things. Who depends? The ego self. This is the ego self who depends like this. And when we try to look more deeper into this wounded self, we have to analyze because it is mirroring us. Just mirroring us. That's all, nothing else. Let us see which will really tell us, which will show the way out of these dependencies, addictions. Wounded self means that person, that personality, which has already undergone many unpleasant experiences, which are agonizing and painful. Many times the person had to undergo trouble, discomfort, inconvenience because of relationships. They were so painful and so intense and unbearable. Person has undergone, so that wound is there. And that wound is being carried. That is not healed. It is ready to get reactivated. How it gets reactivated? We carry certain things from earlier births. Unfulfilled, last birth, prior to that. We did not try to heal those wounds, so we carry them. We carry them into the future births. And then we get into the same things. And whenever we come across certain things, these wounds get reactivated. The instances when these wounds get reactivated. See, this is only for self-improvement, self-progress, so that we come out of the emotional dependency. We are thinking about falling in love, first kind, from the ego self, which is in emotional dependency. So we are finding ways to come out of this. So first we have to understand what is happening to us. What exactly is happening to us is very important. So these wounds get reactivated, reopened, whenever we experience from the other person. Other person can be our friend, can be our life partner, can be anyone in our relationship. When we experience from the other person, anger. When the other gets angry, suddenly we feel that we are totally disturbed and irritated. Something happens from deep within. Now please follow this, because this is our life. This is our life. Somebody, an old man, was telling to another old man, I have now understood for sure that I have become old. How do you say that? He said, yesterday I went for a late evening walk. On the tank bund. And I saw one middle-aged woman needing help to cross the road because of vehicles. I understood that she is needing some help. I went close. Then I said, may I help you? And I held her hand and started walking, helping her. And halfway across the road, I felt that this hand looked similar to something which I have already touched. And then I crossed the road. Then I looked at the person under the light. Then I understood, she's my wife. And the other person who was listening to this said, oh, that was fine that you helped your wife. So what? But the thing is, she said thank you and left. It is then I understood that she also has become old. She did not know that I was her husband. So sometimes situations and experiences tell us where we are and what we are. But if we are intelligent enough, we don't give the chance to those things, we realize it. Or at least make use of those experiences to look deep within ourselves. So, when the other person gets angry, we can't stand it. We are psychologically and emotionally disturbed. And when the other person withdraws, we can't stand it. Something happens. The wound is opened up. We can't take it. Get so much shaken. When we look at it, it is a simple thing. But we get so much shaken. Somebody is angry, we are shaken. Somebody has withdrawn, we are shaken. And another thing which we might have constantly experienced and faced, when our beloved or when our partner or when our other person, close person, gives attention to someone else. As a child also we might have seen this in our own family. Gives attention to someone else. More attention and with more involvement and appreciation and interest. What happens? The ego self is immediately shattered and shaken. Here we say that the problem is with the other person, that he is not giving or she is not giving enough attention to me, diverting the attention to somebody else and getting more interested in that relationship or more interested in that particular activity. So more interest in that and more enthusiastic, more inspired, more involved. And something happens, I can't stand it. I say the problem is with the person. No, the problem is within us. We are carrying that wound. We are carrying something which is making us get disturbed. We feel shaken. Successfully, we blame the other person. Apparent outer cause is the other person. But actual inner cause is something else. But we don't want to reveal it nor unveil it. If we unveil it, we will have to see all that ugliness of the wound. Reveal it, others will see. So we want neither others to see nor we want ourselves to see it. But still we want the wound to be healed. How it is? Neither we go to the doctor nor we have any idea of self-medication. Then what? So, giving attention to someone else. And another thing, most of us might have experienced this in our close relationships. When others does not tell truth. When they don't tell truth. It can be anybody. Parents looking at children, children looking at parents. Partners always look at each other through this angle. Friends, business partners, office, wherever, servant master, wherever it is. When the other person does not tell the truth. What happened? The person who did not tell the truth is successfully sleeping, happily enjoying the sleep. The one who is affected by this is spending sleepless nights. I have done so much. Why the person has not told the truth? I don't know. I expected the person to be truthful, person to be honest. So much of agony, so much of pain. Why? Other person did not tell truth to me. About what? About oneself? About what one has done? Or what one has not done? Did not tell the truth. So I suffer agonizing. It's very agonizing. Fully shaken, totally disturbed, unable to sleep, very much shattered. What happens? Why we undergo these things in life? And when we say we want to immediately go to somebody, sit with the other person and say, see, the other person did not tell the truth, see what he did not tell the truth, did not tell the truth. And then little consolation we get and we are happy and come back. That's all. No change. Again we will be affected by the same thing. The more we think we are affected, the more the other person does we are affected, the more it occurs in our mind that this is the experience which I have undergone, we are affected. And we say, value system, people are not following value system, they are not truthful, they are cheating. That is their nature. But why are you disturbed? Are you looking into yourself that there is some cause? Or are you looking at outside and say, you change? What we do at such occasions is, we beg people, we plead these people on whom we depend. This is emotional dependency. We depend upon these people, we beg these people, please be truthful. Please don't withdraw. Please don't give attention to others. Please don't be angry, I can't stand. Please. How many times we must have undergone these things in our lives? Think. Every time expecting the other person to be truthful, honest, not withdraw from us. We might have pleaded people, please don't withdraw. Please, I can't stand, I can't survive. I can't see my future. Please don't withdraw from me. Don't give too much of attention, you're giving too much of attention. We're getting interested somewhere. Whether it is an activity also. How can you find an activity more interesting than me? Think. Silently we carry so many things inside. And when we face one of these things, we suffer. The suffering is intensified because we carry so many things inside. We have never dealt with them. We did not spend time to deal or heal those wounds. We continue to carry them. And when somebody does not stand up for us, does not support us, we think they should support us, and they did not support. How much suffering? They did not support me, they did not encourage me, they did not stand up for me, they did not say a word in encouragement to me. We suffer. Because they did not support, and I am suffering. Somebody has not supported, there might be so many other reasons. And somebody misunderstands us. It might be the nature of the person to misunderstand. We want to tell something, misunderstanding. And when somebody misunderstands, and then we can't stand only. And when a misunderstands, finished. Misunderstanding. No proper understanding. If somebody misunderstands, we suffer pain. We get disturbed. How much ever I try to make the person understand, still and when the other person ignores us. Come on, we might have felt this many times. Ignores. We must have eagerly looked at the person and from it, "Hi, Abba." Ignores. What happens inside? What we have felt? Something happened inside. Suddenly we start thinking, some inconvenience within. Somebody ignored us. An inconvenience within. And we feel the pain. We undergo the suffering. In all these things, when somebody gets angry or withdraws or gives attention to someone or does not tell the truth or does not stand up for us or misunderstands or ignores us, in all these things, we feel abandoned. That is the feeling of the ego self, abandoned. We feel lost. That's why some people say, I have lost hope in my life. Why? Because of these things. One such experience happens in life, I lost hope, no interest in living. Or the whole world is like this. Everything is dark. Actual thing is, we have to heal from within. And it is at such occasions we want to really request people, plead with people, beg the people, please stop your behavior like this. Please support me because I am suffering. Please don't ignore me because I am suffering. Please don't misunderstand me because I am suffering. How many people we plead like this? Whole life we might spend like this, expecting the people to understand us, not to ignore us, to support us, to tell truth to us, to not withdraw from us, to not get angry, to not give attention to others. How many times? How long we will wait like this? We can wait for lives, but nothing will happen. The remedy is, we have to understand that we are not in such a begging levels. We do not belong to this ego self at all. We belong to something else. We actually belong to some other level. We do not know anything about that. We think we belong to this and we suffer. So the easiest way to come out of this is look towards the healing and actual forces or energies of healing. The best thing is, first thing what we have to do to come out of this suffering or pain is forgive the other person who has shown anger, withdrawn, gave attention to somebody, got interested in some other activity, did not tell the truth, or did not stand up for us, or misunderstood us, or ignored us. Forgive the person. Because when we silently, within ourselves, offer some prayer to our Ishtadeva, and then become little calm by taking the name or japa of that Ishtadeva, after a few minutes, think of the people because of whom we are violently shaken, disturbed, suffering pain, forgive them. When we forgive them psychologically, within ourselves, within our own mind, the first thing happens is the pressure comes down. The pressure that we are carrying, the intensity of the pressure comes down. Things start becoming lighter because we have forgiven the person. All the while, we are carrying these things in our mind. Constantly thinking that the other person is the cause. Continuously expecting a change in the other person. Pleading the other person, and the other person is not listening to us. We carry this. We carry this burden. And suffer and suffer. Think of it and suffer. Keep it in memory and suffer. Recollect it and suffer. Share it with others and suffer. Dream about it and suffer. Sleep with it and suffer. Wake up with it and suffer. That act might have been done once, but we continuously suffer. How to come out? Forgive. Easiest thing, forgive. You need not go to the person, call the person and say, I forgive you. No. You will get more. No need to go there. We have to just silently sit with ourselves. First thing is forgive the person. Because we want to get relieved from this. We want to heal the wound. Forgive. Second best thing, if possible, best thing is, wherever your attention goes towards the divinity, whatever religion you and I belong to, any Ishtadeva, every Ishtadeva is a source of great healing energy. Every mantra heals us. Every form of divinity heals us. Just focus the attention and feel that a great divine light and energy is coming into us and healing us. It might look imagination. It might look as an imagination, but it will work wonders. Feel that the light and energy are coming from our Ishtadeva and then going into us and heal these wounds. Then slowly, next thing is, get into some spiritual association. Get some good spiritual direction and guidance and help. This is the ultimate remedy. Otherwise, it's not at all possible for us to come out of this. We can never find other people acting according to our expectation. Impossible in this world. That is why it is said, every problem in the last analysis is self-caused. So it has to be self-redeemed. How to do it? We have to turn towards divinity. We have to turn towards the greatest qualities of forgiveness, patience, and we have to turn towards spirituality. Finally, this is the only method, this is the only way where we have to come around. Go around and come back to this. Otherwise, we can't really achieve anything. We have to find out a way. Somebody was driving his car on the countryside and he came across a 6-legged hen. Chicken with 6 legs. 6-legged hen. I was surprised, 6-legged hen, that also overtaking his car. He was already going 80 miles, 80 kilometers speed. He saw the speedometer, it overtook. Surprised. Hen, 6-legged. So he looked around for the nearby farm and he went there, that poultry farm. And then he asked, do you produce 6-legged hens? He said, yes, we experimented on hybrids and on all that. Various other genetical things and we tried and then we produced the 6-legged hens. Okay, how do they taste? He asked. They said, we don't know. Why? Because we could not catch them. Once we hatched them, we could not catch them. Because the moment they are hatched 80 kilometers, where can we run? 80 kilometers. We can't. We didn't catch them, so we don't know. We only produced them and we don't know. Like that, my dear, there are many relationships that we entertain, we create. We think they are in our hands. We can't catch them afterwards. Where they take us, where they go away, they will never be in our control. Only in the beginning we think and everything is nice, smooth. And then till the conflict arises, everything will be smooth. All outer expositions and displays and all that, layers after layers of gift packs covering like that. Slowly we will find out something which is dangerous and disturbing. Till then we are all comfortable. Then we feel it is not in our hands. It has gone far. Nowhere we can control it. We begging also, no use. Hey, I am suffering, please. The person has no concern for our suffering. You are suffering, you suffer, so what? Hey, I am suffering because of you. Who asked you to suffer? You suffer. Hey, your action, I am suffering. So what? What should I do? Please change your action. I will not. Then what should we do? Hit our head against. And then go and sit and blame God. Why did you do like this? And then go and sit with astrologer. He says, Kuja dosha, Rahu, Ketu, and Shani. Everybody is positioned against you. What can you do? What should I do? Get hit. What can you do? So then what should I do? Wait, they will change their position. Lucky that they don't stay permanently there. They keep on changing. Wait, they will change. Or do something to reduce their intensity. What? Good deeds only. What else you can do? Turn towards divinity or spirituality or prayaschitta karma. What else we can do? Every problem in the last analysis is self-caused. Therefore, it has to be self-redeemed. If we understand this truth, we don't waste time in blaming others, holding others responsible. We try to change ourselves and go ahead. We don't wait for anybody to change. We need not. Nobody will change. Because they have their own limitations. They have their own past. They carry their own past, their own things. Never look at another person and think the person is fresh, even though you are meeting the person first time. No. The person carries a long history of so many births, so many vasanas, so many samskaras, so many fulfilled things, so many unfulfilled things, so many healed ones, so many unhealed ones, so many things. So don't think a person is a clean slate. There is no clean slate anywhere. All rubbish only. There's so much filled in every slate. On layers after layers open up. It is not even a magic slate where you can open and everything is erased. No. It is a permanent slate-like thing. You go on programming, it goes on taking. And there is no limit like gigabytes and all that. Unlimited programming. Non-stop. It goes on. I have heard that two women were discussing about how to make these middle-aged husbands exercise or do some yoga. But they don't seem to do that because they are very much concerned. Their wives are very much concerned about the health of their husbands. And then they recently attended some yoga sessions and then other things and then exercises and then demonstrations and all that. They feel the need but they don't listen what to do. And one woman said, I have an idea. I experimented and I felt successful. How? I told my husband to do pranayama. He said, I am not interested. And then I consulted the doctors. Doctor said, only that will cure because all other medicines is of no use now. Only that will cure. So what to do? I started thinking and observing him. Then I finally understood. It worked. What? She told the idea to other women. It worked. What? I took him for a walk to Lovers Park. And I made him walk. Because in Lovers Park everything is slow. Time also goes slow. Isn't it? So we also moved slow. And I observed. Every time a cute looking girl passed by him, near to him, he started staring at that girl and leave the breath outside, draw the stomach inside. And watch that girl till the girl goes out of sight and then Then I understood this is the best way to make him do pranayama. Breathing exercises. So then again I took him into those paths where there are cute girls. Every time the girl came close to him, and then like that I make him do 50 rounds. I wait for 50 cute girls and after 50 I take him home. Why don't you try this? An idea. So, various ways of doing pranayama, isn't it? When we are not conscious of ourselves, of self-improvement, something else will make us do it. That's what happens in life. If we, by ourselves, don't learn from the situations, then the situations will teach us. And that teaching will be very harsh. If we are alert, we'll pick up the lessons. If we don't pick up the lessons, then we will be taught in a different manner. So it's better that we pick up the lessons. So, when we look at ourselves and when we discover, when we find out what is happening in our life, because somebody else behaved in one particular manner, because the tendencies of the person are like that, the nature of the person is like that, the purva karma vasanas are like that, what to do? The person is like that. The person is not clean slate. The person has so much to carry. Already the person is carrying a lot of burden from so many births. One's own habits, one's own likes, one's own dislikes, one's own tendencies, one's own inner burnings, things, unhealed wounds, so many things the person is carrying. And then here we sit and then wait for the person to be the one who supplies everything to us. Where is the point? The person also is suffering. So, instead of looking at the other person, we have to look at ourselves and see where is the actual problem. And then when we attempt to heal it, we will come out of these problems. And afterwards, we don't bother at all about how the other person behaves. We might be concerned, we might do something to set right the person in a very mild manner, but we don't get disturbed. We don't lose hope in our life because of somebody's hopeless behavior. Why should we lose hope in our life, on ourselves, because hopeless behavior of other person? We had been doing this. Why should we do this? Now, let us look into another way of falling into love. All the while we have seen under emotional dependency, falling into love from the ego self or from the wounded self. Now the other one is falling into love from an evolved self, a matured self. It's a different thing. It's no more falling actually. It's only rising in love. It's a different thing. Earlier the need was there, the wound was there, the demand was there to get, because inner emptiness, inner loneliness. But now it's different. As an adult, as a child we might have the need, but as an adult we are different. As a matured person we function differently. We don't have that need, we don't have that dependency. We have love and we are full in love. We experience love, we have self-love. We know how to love ourselves and we know how to love God, love divinity and get love from the divinity. We know how to love the nature and get loved by the nature. We know how to love the cosmos and get loved by the cosmos. We know how to get tuned to the cosmic energy and get love from the cosmic energy. The divinity is in love with us, the cosmos is in love with us, the nature is in love with us. The phenomenal forces, the presiding deities are in love with us because we love them. We know that these are all sources of love. We love them and they love us. And we become rich in love. We love so many other beings and we get love from those beings. We are full in love because we are rich in love. We have contacted that infinite source of love. The common substratum of all beings, love. We have contacted that. We are so full of love. Now we want to share that love. We want relationships to share that love, to give that love. This is totally different dimension. We share love and we enjoy sharing. We thank the person who has allowed us to share the love. We give love and enjoy. Giving itself is a joy. Sharing is a joy. Giving is a joy because we have it. We have love, so we give it. This is not emotional dependency. This is independence. This is total freedom. Real freedom from all dependencies. Because we have love. We have understood we are products of love. God created us out of Himself. That is love. We know what love is. Love is not in these small petty things. We are so full of love. We give love, we share love, we enjoy. Every moment of giving is a joy. Whether the other person receives or not, we take full charge, full responsibility for all of our feelings and experiences and emotions. We take responsibility. We know we are responsible for it. We don't hold others responsible for it. We take full responsibility. So we give love, that's all. We have it, so we give it. We know the sources, inexhaustible sources of love, infinite sources of love. We know them. We have tasted it, we have contacted them, we experienced that love. So we give it. We have it, so we give it. And we want people only to give it. We share it. We keep on sharing it. And then thereafterwards, their withdrawals, their angers, their giving attention to somebody, their telling untruth, they are not supporting us, they are not understanding us, they are going around with somebody, it will not bother us. We might be concerned about them, but it will not bother us, it will not affect us. It will not disturb us, it will not create violence in us. It will not turn us into volcanoes, bursting out in every possible manner. And see, people who are functioning from ego self, they become violent, they become destructive. That is why there is so much of destruction in the society. They destroy people who are the apparent causes, and they destroy the society because they can't destroy people. They destroy the things in the society. So much of destruction, so much of things that go on. In public rioting, looting, all are giving vent to this violence inside. Inner violence comes out. Elections time, rioting time, public demonstrations. Destroy the public property. Destroy others' property. Destroy. Why? It is destructive tendencies from within because they are violent. The violence is there inside. So much of violence. And people who are more violent have greater status in society because don't touch them because they are too violent. Even though they are doing something wrong according to the law, but still don't touch them. They are violent. Fear. How much of violence we see in people around, in society around, all this is because of this. They have not contacted the sources of love. They did not take responsibility for their own emotions and feelings. If we have lived a life, we have amassed the wealth, we have earned name and fame, we also attended satsangs, we know a lot of knowledge, but still we can't stand somebody who is telling untruth. We can't stand somebody who is ignoring us, who is giving attention to somebody. If we can't stand, where is our evolution? Where are we? Where are we going? What are we doing? What have we done with this life all these years? We die like this and we are born like that only. How long this goes on? This continues. This goes on. No end to it. It will go on like that. Unending it goes on. That's where we have to understand, look at us, and we have to understand. We have to take full responsibility for ourselves. We should know how to love ourselves. We should know how to validate ourselves. We should discover the inner sense of safety and security. Outside, where in this world you have safety and security? Tell me. You change continents, you change countries, you change planets. Where there is permanence. Everywhere there is impermanence. Where there is safety and security. Keeping bodyguards, commandos, where there is security. Till we find inner sense of security and safety and know the technique of validating ourselves without depending upon anybody. See, the ego-based people, they hand over their entire responsibility of worthiness and well-being to others. If I have to be well, you are responsible. I hand over my responsibility to you. If I have to be worthy, you have to do something to make me feel worthy. The ego-based, crazy love, the craving love is like this. They hand over their entire responsibility to others. And they want others to make oneself feel worthy and well-being. How it will happen in life? And then we suffer. I am not well. I am not well. You know why? I am in a well. You know why? Why? Because I gave my responsibility of my well-being to others. That's why I am not well. Are you upset? I'm not well. Why? Because something happened. What? Some relationship. What? Off the mood. Why? This. Such and such a thing happened, I'm not well. I don't feel well. I don't feel nice. I'm disturbed. Something is happening. Somebody doing something and we are getting disturbed. When we will come out of this? We have to come out of this. If we want to grow, this is what is learning. Learning through relationships. We don't need any other teachers. Relationships are enough. They teach us a lot. Simple relationships teach us a lot. Where we stand in life. Whether we have really evolved or not. Whether we have really progressed or not. There was one person, an old man and his grandson. They were doing some farming and other things. So they were in a remote village. They had very good produce of potatoes and carrots. So they filled their gunny bags with these carrots and potatoes. They placed them on the donkey. They had donkey, so they placed them on the donkey. And they wanted to come to the town, nearby town, nearest town, so that they can go to the market and sell it and get the money. That was the idea. So the old man and the grandson and the donkey with bags of carrots and potatoes. And as they were coming near to the town, somebody, a revolutionary of social movements, was going by that way in a car. But they crossed all that village rustic roads and then pathways and all that. They came near to the town, so they saw some vehicles passing by. And suddenly the car stopped and one person got out of the car and said, I cannot tolerate this. What? Cruelty towards animals. Cruelty towards animals. So many bags on this animal, poor animal. You are ill-treating the animals. It is a flaw in the eyes of law. I don't accept this. I will take action unless you change this. So then the old man was somehow told by the other people who were following this social revolutionary that it is a cruelty towards animals. So then what he can do now? So what he did, so he took those bags away from the donkey and placed them on his grandson. What he can do now on the grandson? And then they were walking towards the market. And one member from the Child Welfare Association was going past that way. Stopped the car, came out and said, this is sheer cruelty towards children. Domination on children. Ill-treating children. I cannot stand this. I will file a case in court of law. Then this man was confused. Animals, children, then what to do now? Then what he can do now? He took all the bags on himself. Old man. And then he started walking. Then one leader of 82 old age homes and who was fighting for the cause of old people, he came. And he said, you idiot! You are teaching this to your grandson? You are carrying everything? When donkey is there, you can't put on the donkey? What is that you are trying to do? You become a donkey by carrying the donkey with you, taking the donkey with you? You don't know how to use this? I will file a suit against you. This man was confused now. I fight for the cause of the old people. He really was confused. So what should I do now? I can't use my donkey, I can't take the help of my grandson, and I can't help myself. That is how sometimes the crazy society is structured, my dear. That is how it is structured. So, those people who depend upon others for their well-being are like this. They end up like this. Those who depend upon others for their well-being. Everybody has a different opinion and they have a different system of logic to support with. instead of looking for outside guidance and solutions from such people, let us look within. And if you want to look at something else other than us, let us look at evolved sources, divine sources, infinite sources, immeasurable sources, unending sources, blissful sources, love-filled sources, and then we will get connected to them. Small things that we take up, bit by bit, they will help us in getting connected to the infinite, rich sources of love, divinity, blissfulness. They are all around us. They are all around us. If we can get connected, then we will be different in our dealings with others. We are already in love. We will be filling our hearts and minds with love. We know how to love ourselves. We know what is our worthiness. We know how to keep us in a good state. We know how to be in a nice, healthy state. We know how to take care of our well-being. We don't hand over this responsibility to anybody. We take full charge and responsibility of our own feelings. We don't get shaken violently and become the sources of violence, all because of some change in others. Let us look into ourselves and let us look towards the higher. Let us look and get connected with the divinity. That is the right solution for all these problems. Let us think in these lines and learn from the relationships, learning through relationships. Harihi Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।